Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Please like and subscribe. More importantly, become a member to the channel. I'm getting hundreds of people telling, man, we love your content. We look forward to your videos. They're so informative, but also, the humor you invoke. It's a breath of fresh air. Well, hey, I've been doing this for a few years. And you know what? In the last couple of weeks, I only got 2 people to become a member to the channel. So if you can run up to Chick-fil-A and get you some damn waffle fries, it's not going to kill you. Just throw a little $3, $4 a month aside for me to keep bringing the content. Now, I'm at almost 15,000 subscribers. If I can just get 2,000 or 3,000 people to become a member to the channel, let me tell you, I'll be going live twice a day. I'll probably drop 3 videos a day. And I will, no kidding, make this my job. Remember, I'm retired. I got all the time in the world from about 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock. But, hey, if you do it, great. If not, I understand. We don't want to make an assumption that everybody got $3, $4, $5 to throw aside. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all keep cool. Let's get started. Hey, man, today's Rumble in the Jungle. That's what Canelo and Terrence Crawford is. Now, what I'll say is this. That Rumble in the Jungle between Ali and Foreman, that wasn't just a fight. That was a cultural earthquake. And that's what Terrence Crawford and Canelo is shaping up to be. You listen to everyone talk about this. This is the biggest fight in the last 20 years, the last this, the last that. The world's going to come to an end on September 13th. I'm like, holy shit. This is a pretty big deal. If you look at Muhammad Ali, you look at George Foreman, when they fought back in 1973, 74, that fight symbolized a whole lot. Resistance, reinvention, maybe even redemption. But now you come and you fast forward to where we are today. Crawford versus Canelo could be its spiritual successor. What you have here, 2 pound-for-pound elites. Ali and Foreman were also pound-for-pound elites. Ali was trying to regain his throne, and Foreman wasn't trying to allow that to happen. With Ali and Foreman, like Crawford and Canelo, you got very distinct styles, man, and legacies. Now, what I think is going to happen is when these fellas collide, look, it's already started happening. But the fight itself, the bout, is going to transcend belts and borders. But it's already happening. Everyone is talking about this fight, even casuals. Because when I'm out and about, I have on my little Hood Champion Boxing and Sports t-shirt. And some cats will recognize me. That's kind of crazy. That's why I got to, keep the thing on me. Because not everybody agrees with what I say. But the bottom line is, everyone's talking about the fight. Now, when you sit back and you think about the echoes of Kinshasa, right? Psychological warfare at its best. Muhammad Ali's mind game versus Crawford's cold, calculating ways. You look at Muhammad Ali and what he was able to do. He weaponized charisma. He was able to use his charismatic ways to get an advantage over George Foreman. Ali, boom my yay. I tell you what, if I'm outside and I'm walking up the road at 9, 10 o'clock at night and I hear somebody shout that shit, boom my yay, I'm hauling ass. You see Ali's taunts, his poetry, public bravado chipped away at Foreman's aura. Now, when you take a look at Terrence Crawford, by stark contrast, he's surgical, more quiet than Ali, but he's calculating and he's very ice cold under pressure, just like Ali. Crawford doesn't need to talk. If you watch his eyes, I'm always talking about Crawford fights with his eyes. Watch his eyes. His eyes says it all. You can see the fire blazing up inside Terrence Crawford. You look at his eyes. Now, when you talk about Canelo ain't no joke, man. Just like Foreman, is stoic, is prideful. Viva Mexico, cabrones! But my boy thrives on control. He used to being the boss. Payday, payday, you want payday. Canelo ain't gonna sit here and let nobody bully him and force him to do something he doesn't want to do outside the ring with making fights, and inside the ring, he doesn't let nobody dictate anything. Canelo's the boss inside the ring. So I think the psychological tension here, it may be silent, but it's suffocating because we all feel it. Now, when we talk about a power equation, Foreman, that dude hit like a damn sledgehammer, like a mule kick, you know what I'm saying? And then Canelo kind of got the same thing, but it's more like compact dynamite. George Foreman was raw, terrifying power. He beat people before they even got in the ring with him. Canelo, same thing. Before these cats even get in the ring with Canelo, they see what he does to everyone. It's like they already accept defeat. Foreman, clubbing shots, breaking bones. He broke bones. Haven't we seen Canelo break bones? But Canelo, one thing I had to say, Foreman was almost, he could box, but it was more just strong and brawler-like, you know what I mean? Like a free swinger. Canelo's way more refined, but no less dangerous. If Canelo hits you upstairs, you start dancing salsa. Once that equilibrium goes off, the feet start bing, 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 bing. Turn you into a Puerto Rican. But it's the body shots. It's the body shots. He paralyzes guys with body shots. His counterpunching is second to none. Now, when you talk about a guy like Crawford, he ain't hitting like George Foreman and Canelo. He ain't breaking shit like those guys, but we know that he can. That's just not his style. He's more boxer-puncher than a guy who's more like brawler, free swinger, puncher. But he can do it. But like Ali, when Crawford fights Canelo, look, I really hope they're working on his punch absorption. I hope they're working on conditioning his arms and midsection, maybe even, the top of his head, because Canelo ain't just aiming for your nose and chin and eyeballs, cheekbones. Canelo comes over the top and hits you on the top of your head. Canelo hitting you wherever he can to hurt you, and he knows just where those points are in your body. Canelo's brilliant. But when it comes to Crawford like Ali, I just think he's going to have to absorb a lot of those punches. He's going to have to deflect, parry. He's going to have to slip. He's going to have to redirect. He's going to have to be a master splinter when it comes to that defense. But remember, he's not fragile. But he's not built to trade bombs either. You know what I mean? You can look at Crawford in his frame. My boy is all muscle. He's strong. He's built to get torqued behind his shots. But Crawford don't look like he's built to trade bombs. Canelo looks like he's built to trade bombs at 168 pounds. He's actually proven that in all of his fights at 168 and even going to 175. So the question starts to become, who can survive the storm? More Crawford. And can Crawford flip the script? Now, footwork and fluidity. Muhammad Ali was a dancer. Terrence Crawford, he could do a little two-step. Matter of fact, maybe you call it a four-step since he can fight orthodox and southpaw. But you watch Muhammad Ali, man, against George Foreman in all his fights, floating. Smooth criminal. Terrence Crawford, more or less, he morphs. You watch him boxing, mid-combination. Crawford done switch stances. Opponent don't know what the hell's going on. This is modern-day sorcery, people. Watch Ali with the lateral movement. Frustrate the shit out of George Foreman. Watch Crawford with his angles. Disrupting rhythm, disrupting patterns of fighters, disrupting their strategy, disrupting their game plan. And Canelo, like Foreman, go cut that ring off methodically. You don't expect Canelo to start chasing around Crawford. Canelo gonna do like Foreman. He gonna cut that ring off and he gonna trap your ass. And then he gonna unload. And when you think about that dynamic, I'm just having a conversation, whether you agree or disagree. I just think when you think about that, the dynamic mirrors the jungle chess match in 1974. We're talking about chins. We're talking about durability. We're talking about who can take the heat in the kitchen. Popped your butt with a piece of chicken. Ali's chin was legendary, man. You look at that crap that he endured with George Foreman. He took the best shots, never buckled. Crawford's chin, look, whether you want to agree or not, Terence Crawford's chin is tested but not proven against a puncher like Canelo. Hold your horses and let's not take it to the stupid. Canelo out here eating shots from Triple G, Kovalev, Bivol. He eating them shits like grapes. That boy's chin is granite. Ain't nobody messing with Canelo's chin, but this the thing. Wasn't nobody messing with George Foreman's chin either. And what happened when the slick boxer puncher started timing, fought with intelligence, and then put the bing bings on him? Man, Foreman was in there doing pirouettes, looking crazy, figure eights in the ring. So if the fight goes deep, durability becomes destiny. Who can be the most durable fighter in that ring? Crawford or Canelo? Can Crawford endure the grind? Because I just feel if Canelo is having his way and he starts grinding him out, that shit ain't going to be fun. Remember Canelo's simple strategy. We talked about this in another video. He beats your arms up. Now your guard, your arms become down. You can't jab, you can't throw your combinations, you can't protect yourself upstairs. Then he goes and he beats your body because he's like, all right, I brought the arms down, I got to take the legs away. He beats your body. So now he got you more stationary than you want to be, and you can't get your arms up for defense, and you can't punch the way you want to because he done went and tore and severed muscle fibers and shit in your upper extremities. And once the legs go, you can't move, and the arms come down, he got this big old target, El Cabeza Grande, the big head, and he's looking to take it off. So just understand this. Can Crawford endure the grind? But also, can Canelo handle the speed and precision? Because you saw when Ali started letting his hands go, that speed and precision after George Foreman thought he had him, like Canelo could think he has Crawford. Next thing you know, bing, 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 Canelo's on the canvas. Chest to canvas, ass in the air like at a Puff Daddy party. Looking crazy. Guadalajara, Jalisco's finest, is in there looking, he's in a compromising position. Something hood champion will never be in. But we know styles make fights. Boxer versus puncher redux, you know what I'm saying? Ali versus Foreman was the ultimate boxer versus puncher class. Crawford versus Canelo is I think it's fair to say, because I saw somebody put it in the comments and I was thinking the same thing. I said, I'll do a video. But I think Crawford and Canelo is a modern day remix of Ali and Foreman. Crawford is a kind of hybrid, boxer, puncher, brilliant IQ. Muhammad Ali, boxer, puncher, brilliant IQ. I didn't really think he was a hybrid, switch hitter and all that. But Ali definitely could do everything Crawford could do and more. I just don't know. He just wasn't really into switch hitting. And Canelo's a pressure counter puncher with sublime timing. George Foreman was a pressure fighter looking to break you up. He had some timing, but it wasn't really his thing, and he wasn't really looking to counter punch. Foreman was just getting to just outpower you and break you down. So bottom line is, when you think of these guys, and stylistically, that creates a lot of tension. And I think it creates a lot of electricity as well. So every round is going to be a tactical war. And I do think we're going to see, the momentum swinging like a pendulum, because what you see with Crawford and Canelo are two guys who can make adjustments. A change to the change to the change to the change. It's just who can make the better adjustments when the adjustments need to happen and can be successful at implementing their adjustments. Because the legacy is at stake. What's on the line? Shit, a whole lot. Canelo don't want to lose his undisputed distinction to Terence Crawford, who hopped, skipped, and jumped his butt from 154 to 168. He ain't trying to hear that. I think Canelo's like, shit, me fighting Crawford, as far as who's the pound for pound best, look, people say it's either Usyk or Crawford, but maybe Canelo's like, shit, it's time for me to reclaim my throne as the pound for pound best fighter in the world. That's what Muhammad Ali needed to do. That's why he went to Kinshasa. Crawford needs Canelo to cement his greatness across eras. People still don't give Crawford no credit. Crawford's a bum. He fought nobody. Yeah, okay, so he fought who he had to fight. That's because he was putting duck sauce on the fried rice. That's awful. They don't give that man no credit. And they don't give Canelo credit. Boxing fans are a trip. But when you look at Canelo, the man's already a 4-division champ. I think him fighting Crawford, I think he's like, you know what, I didn't really want to fight this guy, but TURKI ALALSHIKH give me all this money. Maybe if I clip Crawford, the person who everyone feels that it can't be beat, maybe if I clip him, you know what, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to seek immortality. If I beat the man who couldn't beat the man, that means that no one can beat me. Because it looks like only a ninja could kill a ninja. So call me Kaninja Alvarez. I don't want the Nello anymore. Kaninja, and I said ninja. I didn't say with the N-word, what y'all think. I said Kaninja, all right? For those of y'all who think I said something else. So the fight isn't just about who's better. It's about who I think is going to be remembered. And I just think we think about Ali and Foreman. I just think it's going to just haunt, every single round. So you say, hey, well, how do you think the fight goes? I mean, I don't know. I've done so many videos. I'm always jumping all around. But, just to have fun, hey, maybe round 1 through 3, maybe the mirage begins. Maybe Crawford starts in orthodox, doing what he does, probing, jabs, feints. Maybe Canelo stalks him, cuts off the ring. Things get a bit tense, tactical, but then the first round, fans are a little bit pissed off because it's slow burning. All of a sudden, you get into the second, third round, Crawford starts landing clean counters, but all of a sudden, Canelo's getting closer and closer, closing the distance because his pressure is mounting. Because that's exactly how it could go. Then round 4 through 6, this is where shit gets interesting. Maybe the trap that Canelo's trying to set, maybe that trap starts to tighten down on Terrence Crawford, starts to clamp him down, starts to squeeze him. Canelo could begin landing them shots to the body. All bad for Crawford. Crawford may switch to southpaw now and say, you know what, I don't like that. This man landing on me. The adjustment gets made. Crawford starts finding angles. Scores with sharp 1-2s. The crowd is like uneasy now. Uh-oh. Canelo's getting some momentum now. Crawford's regained it. So there's a shift that takes place. Maybe Canelo face now starts to show frustration. Terrence Crawford confidence starts to grow. The crowd's behind him. Rounds 4 through 6. Toss-up rounds, but it looks like Crawford's getting the edge. Rounds 7 through 9, all of a sudden, rumble in the jungle starts to roar. Canelo explodes with hooks. He's down. Crawford absorbs, pivots, counters. He's trying to Ali Rapido, reborn. Not on the ropes, but in the pocket. The power that no one thought Crawford had is showing. The speed people thought Canelo doesn't have is showing. Both of them are refusing to give up any ground. Crawford's IQ shines. Canelo's power is respected, but not feared. But Canelo lands something big to get Crawford's respect. Then the championship round, Crawford starts closing strong, realizes that he's been hit hard. The judges are swayed. It's 3 minutes in a round. He could be winning 2 minutes and 59 seconds of the round, but Canelo hit him with some hard shit. It's who does the most damage, and it's so subjective. Maybe Crawford's like, you know what, I may, going into these championship rounds, I may be behind. So he's like, shit, I'm going to close strong. Trying to land those clean combinations. He's been training them high altitude areas. Colorado, Canelo also been training in high altitude. This is where you're seeing who's got that oxygen efficiency. Canelo's relentless, but Crawford can't slow him down. Round 11, round 12, same thing. Canelo's respecting Crawford's power, but Crawford is shocked that Canelo's still coming full steam ahead. Creative combinations, creative exchanges. Crowd's going crazy, then boom, the final bell rings. What happens? What we saw was a masterpiece of control versus courage. The decision, probably razor thin if somebody doesn't get knocked out. Then you got the debate, which will probably be eternal because everyone's going to have an opinion on who they felt won the fight, especially if it's a razor thin decision. But it could go the other way. Canelo could get in there in the first 4 rounds. Crawford having some success, get comfortable, and Canelo just blast him out of there. And, because he underestimating Canelo's speed, but then, hey, maybe he underestimates Crawford's power. And Crawford hit him with the goddamn Omaha, Nebraska bing bings and send Canelo back to Guadalajara, Jalisco. But all of that's fine and all that's fun, and those are things that can happen, but nobody knows. There's nobody out here got a crystal ball that can predict what's going to happen. But one thing I do think is going to happen is there's going to be a cultural impact. Ali fought in Zaire to connect with the African roots. Crawford versus Canelo could be staged in Mexico City, or Johannesburg, symbolic battleground. So I think the global resonance, I think it would be massive, but we all know they're fighting right there in Las Vegas. So with the hookers and hoes and the goddamn hobos and vagrants running around. It's not going to be what it could be as far as connecting with the Mexican and African roots. As far as their career and what happened with their careers, look, Foreman was the unbeatable monster. Canelo has worn that crown for a long time. Muhammad Ali was the rebel. He was the genius, would fight anyone, didn't care. Crawford is the quiet storm. So when you think about it, personalities between Crawford and Canelo, very different. But both of their careers, no matter what, win or lose, I think their careers both are going to arc, because this is, no kidding, two of the, pound for pound greats, different weight classes coming together to entertain us. This is really a dream fight. So the bottom line, what happens here? Look, if I could try to somehow give a little bit of a technical breakdown, look, Ali used the ropes, Crawford uses geometry, you know what I'm saying? Foreman threw haymakers, Canelo throws surgical bombs, so again, precision and angles and just, a power surge. So what you're seeing here from how Ali fought, Foreman fought, you're seeing the evolution of boxing being on display, with Crawford kind of, fighting like how Ali did, but he's enhanced and took things to the next level. Canelo fighting kind of how like Foreman did, but he's enhanced and took it to the next level. So the evolution of boxing is on full display, man. Same archetypes. I just think it's just new tools, you know what I mean? And that's what you got. As far as the mental fortitude, look, Ali's mind won the fight before the bell. He knew exactly what he was going to do, what he was willing to endure, and he stood on that. Crawford's mind wins during the fight. I think when Crawford gets in there, maybe he's going to learn some things about Canelo where he's like, all right, this isn't as bad as I thought. And next thing you know, Crawford goes on to shock the world. But then Canelo, like Foreman, he got to stay composed if for some reason the plan falters. But Canelo has way more tools and way more strategies and way more plans than George Foreman. So again, if for some reason Crawford's having huge success, expect Canelo to not accept that. And next thing you know, Canelo has the upper hand. It's going to be very interesting again with just some huge momentum, the pendulum swinging from those momentum shifts. So mental warfare is going to be hidden and around, and only those of us with those sharp eyes are going to be able to recognize what's going on. Where does this fight go as far as the history of boxing? Look, if Crawford wins, he joins the pantheon. Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd, Mayweather. If Canelo wins, he becomes the next modern Duran. Feared, revered, undeniable. So this fight could reshape, it really could reshape boxing's Mount Rushmore. Everybody has an idea who they think belongs on it, but I tell you what, Canelo to me should be on it anyway, but if he clips Crawford, he's definitely going on there. But if Crawford clips Canelo, Crawford's definitely going on there. But you're three division undisputed champion. That's crazy. Small from 135 to 168, doing the business, hop, skipping, jumping all over the goddamn boxing weight divisions. So final reflection, look, man, the jungle reimagined. Muhammad Ali and Foreman, look, that was a battle of wills. Crawford versus Canelo could be a battle of the eras. It's not just a fight. It's a referendum of what greatness looks like in 2025 compared to 1974. The jungle has changed, but there's two lions and the roar remains. Who wins? I don't know. But Crawford and Canelo, no kidding, really is today's rumble in the jungle. Man, y'all keep cool. I just came from fishing. About to go in here and chill. Got to do some grocery shopping. If you really enjoy my videos, become a member to the channel. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to start putting videos out as premieres, and I'm going to make sure that the members of the channel get to view those videos first. I'll probably delay opening it up to the public for like maybe 48 hours. But I'm going to be putting so many out that, you know, maybe 2 and 3 will be dropping a day. But the members will get an opportunity to see them maybe 24, 48 hours before everybody else. So that's something I'm working on. But, you know, got to manage my time wisely to do it. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. In the breeze.